Alright, dudes, welcome back to the channel, man. Thank you guys for everybody tuning in. As you can see today, we are going over a list, man. My top 5 must-have first mods on the Evo 10. As always, I'm gonna thank you guys for everyone subscribing, liking, and sharing, all that good stuff, man. Thank you guys so much for keeping that up, and keep it up, bro. But today, man, this is the list, dude. These are 5 things you must get as soon as you get your car, as soon as you get your Evo 10, man. Whether you have had it and you haven't done these things, and or you just got your car, this is my personal top 5 list. It might vary between people, but this is my personal preference of what I think that you should get now after over 5 years of ownership. If I had to do it all over again, these are the things that I would do first. Now, these are not going to be in any specific order. It's going to be 1 through 5. None are more important necessarily than the other, or you can decide what you think is more important, but this is the beginning. All right, number 1, or at least the first thing I will mention, one of the first things I actually personally would do if I had to redo this whole thing over again is I would actually get a short shifter with all the bushings. I do daily drive my car. If you guys daily drive yours, and or even if you don't, this is a modification that is really cheap. I think it's like 150, 160 bucks for the short shifter and all the bushings. I'll have a link in the bottom if you guys want to get the exact one I have. I absolutely love it. It shortens it. It actually shortens it. It brings the shifter a little closer to you. This throw is 30% less or something like that. I do have a description above you guys where you can see me actually install that exact shifter with all the bushings, including the ones that go under the engine bay. All those bushings that you add on top of the shortness of the throw, all that will tighten everything up a lot. If you notice right now with your stock one, not only is it long, it's tall, but there's also play like in between the actual gearing when you're in the gear. So that will take away a lot of that. So that is definitely recommended, especially because you'll be changing your gears hundreds of times a week as you drive your car around. So it's something really, really cheap. And because you're always in your car, always shifting, it is a must-have mod in my personal opinion. So that. Second thing I would do if I were you is I would upgrade my relays. All right, now there's going to be a link above you and or the next video coming out where I'm showing you guys which relays you're going to change out. This does sound a little funky. Even in my 2015, it did not have the upgraded relays. All right, this is a well-known thing that people change out in their cars, and I would definitely suggest it day one because it's just precautions to not have an issue. Some of these relays, some of them are like the starter relay. Again, I'll have a link for that video where I actually describe every relay that we're changing out and why you're going to do it. But one of the most important ones in that little set of relays is going to be your fuel pump relay. The older versions are known that they can fail, and that's why you upgrade them. You're upgrading just to the newer OEM relay, but they're known for not having issues when some of the old ones did have that. The pack is relatively cheap, 30 to 50 bucks. I'm not 100% sure on the price. I will have a link in the bottom. And it's something so cheap that could save you thousands of dollars. If you had a fuel pump failure because of the relay and you're at mid-pull, I mean, you could blow your motor up. So it's something really simple. And again, this is top 5 list. As soon as you get your car, definitely upgrade. If you haven't, you should highly consider that, because if you did have an issue with one of these relays and then an issue, a motor problem, you'd kick yourself in the butt for not spending the 30 to 40 bucks to actually just upgrade your relay. Super simple, and they just pop right in. Again, I'll have a link very soon to show you guys exactly how to do that. All right, boom. So now we upgraded our relays, which is very important to prevent an issue happening for dirt cheap. We also threw a short shifter in there with all the bushings to really tighten up a nice short throw, as well as the crispness to every single one of those gears that you row. Then to match that back to back, this is number 3. This is going to be your transmission fluid. You should be changing your transmission fluid, I think, every about 30,000 miles. And next time you do, you should really highly consider, I've already done a video on it, but changing it to the Redline cocktail fluid. In your Evo, if you have not changed it out already, you are guaranteed experiencing a 3rd gear crunch. When you hit 3rd gear, I mean, even mine brand new off the lot when I got it, it is doing that. It's nothing wrong with your transmission. Everyone's car is doing it. When you hit 3rd gear, sometimes it'll crunch a little bit. To take that away, if you do this Redline cocktail fluid mix, it's 2 different fluids you mix together, drive it around, give it a couple miles, and it literally takes that crunch completely away. I've never heard a crunch in my car, and I think I've done two transmission fluid flushes already, or changes, with that Redline cocktail fluid. 0 crunches since, and before, trust me, brand new car, it was crunching day 1. So that is something very small. I mean, you're going to change your fluid out anyway, so upgrade to the Redline cocktail fluid. It should take away that crunch completely, and that's going to match up also with your nice, with your short shifter, and boom, we already did relays, right? So jumping right past that transmission fluid, though, we're going to jump to number 4. Number 4 is going to be, it's actually going to piggyback right into number 5, gauges. for some reason in the Evo 10s and the old Evos, right, they didn't put stock gauges. It's so stupid that they didn't have like a boost gauge or a wideband or anything in these cars day one. So you definitely want to upgrade that, and don't get a wideband that's just a, you know, a rainbow meter. Get a real wideband O2 censored one that you can actually get into your downpipe, so you're actually getting a real O2 reading. This is really important, especially after you're tuned or even before, just to make sure if you have a fuel pump failure, you'll be able to see that on your actual numbers that it's running out lean. As well as full throttle, you want to be checking your numbers anyway. So it's just a real good tool to have in your car. So definitely get a wideband O2 sensor style and a boost gauge, so you know if you're over boosting or under boosting or what's going on. You don't know anything that's going on in your car, and these are two things that you're going to give you a little bit of peace of mind when you're driving around. So that's number 4, man. Get some gauges in this car. Number 5, one of the most important things, one of the best things, one of the things that you're going to love the most, get a Pro Tune. Okay, and I'm not talking about necessarily buying Cobb. Now, Cobb is cool, especially if you don't have a tuner local to you. But these are awesome car because these can be stock computer tunes, okay? So if you have a good tuner in your local area, which most people do in most of the states here, if you're from another country, I'm sure you guys have some local people near you, and or you can do e-tunes with those people on stock computers. Get it done, man. I mean, this car for specifically, just to give you an example, they're 291 horsepower to the crank when you get them, right? I want to say that's 250 wheel-ish when you first get it. My car went from 250 wheel-ish. I put a intake and exhaust on here with a boost controller. When I got a Pro Tune by Chris Carby, he's been tuning my car all of these years, and it went from, let's say, 250 wheel horsepower to about 340 wheel horsepower just from a tune. I had an intake, exhaust, and a tune. That was it. And not only did it wake up the car in the low RPMs, it gave me better gas mileage, it gives you better pickup all day, and your car runs much more efficient. And just think about the fact that when you get your car has the same exact tune as every single car across the board, across the country, the same tune. It's just a base tune, basically. And that's why, if you notice when you put your gauge in, there is a lot of fuel being thrown at that all the time. There's a lot of time, a lot of fuel thrown in it, and that way the car is going to be running safe, and anybody can just jump in the car and beat on it, and you shouldn't have problems, right? Pro Tune is going to work out everything. It's going to, like I said, better gas mileage. It's actually going to be tuned to your specific car, to your fuel map, to your air fuels, and that's why you can pull so much power out, add timing, all that stuff, and you can get power easy breezy with barely doing anything to the car. So it's such a freaking power plant to even start off of. So get a Pro Tune, man. Improved gas mileage, everything is improved. And again, right now, if you notice, if your car is stock down low in the low RPMs, even with a small turbo, it's not alive, dude. It's like dead. As soon as you get a Pro Tune, you'll realize that it is live, like all those low RPMs. The small turbo still dies off at the very top, but you're 100 wheel horsepower almost more just from getting a Pro Tune on it. If you don't have the Pro Tune option though, I mean, a lot of people do use Cobb. I almost used Cobb before. I don't see the point in getting the Cobb $500 Cobb access port and then going and getting that Pro Tuned by somebody, because we can tune the stock computers. So don't double spend money on the tune and on the Cobb program, because you can get your stock computers. A lot of people will buy those Cobbs and then I'm selling them when they get Pro Tuned. So try not to, like I've always said, try not to make double mistakes and plan far ahead of exactly what you guys are going to do. But that is it, man. Short and sweet, really short list. I just want to make a quick video, guys, of the top 5 things that I think you should do to your Evo right away when you get it. 5 modifications that are really going to help you. All that stuff together is relatively cheap for what you're going to get out of that, and then beyond that, do what you want. But hope you guys did enjoy this video, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you in the next one. Bye.